Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to be a day trader even with a full-time job. What you're looking at here on the screen is an email I received from a member of the community, and I show this because I want you to know that what I'm going to be showing you, what I'm going to be talking about is not theory, okay? This is not some sort of hypothetical situation. This is not some sort of, well, I think this is how it actually might. No, this has happened. This is happening, and I want you to know that I am talking about something that is very possible for you, and it's by no means are we talking about some sort of textbook theory, right? We've all been in school. We've all had our textbooks with our bolded words and definitions and all that, but this is real world stuff. This is a real world actual example. So right here, what you see are the results. At the time this person sent me the email, I get it's a little outdated, but I suppose that's a good problem to have. There's just been so much to talk about, so I'm now just getting around to talking about it. So yes, I realize things are a little old, but the point here being those are the results. And the mini lesson, which is not the point of this video, but yeah, things started off a little bit rough, but a great quick example on why you gotta manage risk. Just that's the focal point of trading success. Manage risk, and there's a good example of that. So yeah, started off rough, but then you can see from there things went very well. But I can also see how you might be saying, Clay, that's a spreadsheet. Anybody can type up a spreadsheet. Anybody can just put numbers on a spreadsheet, and that's more than fair. So that is exactly why I asked this person to send me all the documented results so that I know that, again, I'm not talking in theory. I'm talking about something that's actually happened. So up there, you can see they made the attachments of all their trade confirmations, and you can see one example of that right there. If you want to see more of that in detail, then you can just go to claytrader.com. Unfortunately, on YouTube, you can't attach PDF files, but if you go to claytrader.com and watch this video on the site, then down below, I will offer up a link to that trading statement right there so that you can see that, yes, he's just using a spreadsheet to organize it for himself visually, but this is not some sort of random spreadsheet. These results actually happen. So that's how it's all playing out. There's the results right there. They actually happened. And the first thing that I want to point out is that this person is a student. This person is a member. So they're not out there just randomly doing stuff. And hopefully you go say, well, no kidding, Clay. Of course you don't want to be out there randomly doing stuff. But I've seen some crazy stuff. Been doing this since 2013, okay? I've seen some crazy stuff, but I did want to at least establish the context that this person does have a game plan. They've, invested in themselves to gain the knowledge. So with that out of the way, just keep that in mind. And then also, maybe I can pique your interest a little bit more without the Pdt rule. So in other words, this person has a full-time job. They're a day trader, and they're a day trader without the Pdt rule. Pdt rule standing for pattern day trading rule. Maybe you've heard of it. If you're brand new and just getting started, then maybe you haven't. But pretty much good old government regulations say that unless you have $25,000 in your account, then you can't trade as much as you want. Wait, say that again, Clay? Yes, it's one of the most, I could do an entire hour video on just this stupid government regulation. But yes, there is a government regulation known as the Pdt rule, pattern day trading rule, which states that unless you have $25,000, you are not allowed to trade as much as you want. However, this person is trading as much as they want, and they don't have $25,000. Wait a second, Clay, huh? Exactly. So like I said, hopefully I piqued your interest. But yes, not only can you trade with a full-time job, you can also go about it and be a day trader and truly trade as much as you want. And like I said, I'm going to get to all that in this email. And then finally, I love how he signed off with beast mode for life. And I point that out because, yeah, I mean, to set up the context, again, this assumes that you do have a full-time job. So, I mean, you're going to be putting time towards your job. So if you think that this is all just going to be prancing through a field and sorry. This is only for people that are willing to put in the time, willing to put in the effort, and willing to have the dedication required to make all these dynamics work. But the dynamics are there. The dynamics are, available to you. That's what the idea behind this video. But just so I can honor your time, if you're somebody that's running around looking for some sort of get rich quick, or you're looking for some sort of, well, I don't want to really do anything. I just want money to start to rain from the sky. Sorry, this is not going to be a strategy. This is not going to be a method that's going to fit into your mindset. So to set up more context here, this was the other email that they sent me. And right here they say, and I want you to upfront stop thinking you have to be a full-time trader. This is one of the pet peeves I see out there. And people, I mean, I understand where it comes from, But people think like, okay, well, if I want to make money in the markets, then I have to do like it as a full-time thing. It's got to be a full-time job. I just have to put all my time towards doing it. And that's just not true. So please stop thinking you have to be a full-time trader. As Kevin goes on to say here, so he's got a full-time job and he works from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. So there you go. A typical full-time job. Like I said, I don't think there's really anything more that needs to be said. A full-time job. But let's think about this. Full-time job, but they're also, Kevin is getting into trading. In other words, multiple streams of income. And I bring this up because there is no shame in saying, well, no, I'm not a full-time trader. Me personally, I'm not a full-time trader either. Why? Because I have several sources of income. I spread my time across several different areas. And that's the great thing about trading is when you know what you're doing, I mean, it's not like you need to spend 8 hours every single day trading. So myself, I'm not a full-time trader either. And I have no shame in saying that. I'm a part-time trader. I have multiple streams of income. And think about it. You can also have multiple streams of income if you have a day job, if you have a quote-unquote full-time job, and then you also do some trading. I mean, it's a great side hustle. Now, I'm not saying you have to keep your full-time job forever, but I mean, when you're just getting started and a beginner, there's no shame in that. And don't let anybody shame you into thinking or making you feel less because, you have a full-time job still and you're trading. That's people that do that, ignore, please. It's totally fine. And I would argue from a wealth building perspective, it is very, very wise because that's what wealth building is all about, multiple streams of income. So that's first thing. Stop thinking you have to be a full-time trader. Now, most people do this. So here's Kevin. He's just getting started and he wants to make some extra money. Maybe that's the case for you. It was definitely the case for me. Hey, listen, I want to make some extra money. Oh, wait, you can make money online, clicking buttons, working kind of from wherever you want, assuming there's an internet service. Okay, that sounds interesting. But most people then say, okay, yeah, I want to make money and I've heard of this thing called the stock market. And it's what kind of market? Well, a stock market. So the next sequence of logic would be, all right, well, you use stocks to make money. And this is totally logical. So if you're thinking in this way, if this is where you sit right now as you watch this video, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm not calling you dumb. Far from it. I'm calling you logical. I'm saying, well done to you. You have a very logical way of thinking. So no problems there. But that is totally incorrect. I get it. Yeah, I want to make money. I've heard of this thing called the stock market. It's a market of stocks. So let's use stocks to make money. But no, that is incorrect. So what do I mean by that? Well, the big thing here, next stop that you need to do, stop limiting yourself, okay? Don't do that. Don't limit yourself to just the stock market because yes, when you do that, you're going to paint yourself in a corner. So the next part here of the email is he has been trading around the clock. Huh? Around the clock. Well, but Clay, the stock market's only open... the stock market, I mean, I'm new, I'm a beginner, but I also realize that the stock market is not open around the clock. Exactly. That's why you got to stop limiting yourself. So what's going on here? How can you be trading around the clock? Well, right there, the next part reveals a couple little lessons here. I'm able to toss the MES chart up on my desktop. Well, first off, mini lesson, a chart. Meaning, please stop trading without the proper tools. I mentioned way back when Kevin is a student, he's a member, so he knows what he's doing. And one of the things he's using as a tool, which I would argue, now it's not a perfect tool. There's no such thing as a perfect tool in the market, but he is using charts or in other words, technical analysis. So please stop trading without the proper tools. That's the mini lesson there. And then you see MES, which begs the question, MES, what's that? I've never heard of that company. What is the MES? And that's a very good question. And it has to do with the futures market. So now, before you go run away, the futures market, what? I've never heard of it. Or, I've tried learning. That's way too complicated. Please, just give me a chance. What do I mean by that? Well, I offer a class right there on how to trade futures. And no worries, it's totally free. It's 4 classes. I want to say it's right around 2.5 hours in total. But I will walk you through how the futures market works, how to trade it, how to get things set up, how it all operates. And that way you can get involved, because as you saw there, yes, the futures market is open essentially around the clock. Now it is closed on Saturdays and then for part of the day on Sunday, but actually does open Sunday evening. So right there is an example where you could be trading on Sunday evening if you wanted to. Well, that's Sunday evening Eastern time. So if depending on where your time zone is, that might be even earlier on in the day. But the point here being that that's what's allowing him to do that. And along with this, it has no pattern day trading rule, as I started off the video talking about. There is no, you can day trade, you can trade as much as you want. No restrictions, no pattern day trading rule. And especially within the last year or so, there's been a new product involved or created called the micro futures. So with the micro futures, hence the word micro, you can get involved with really small amounts of money, even as little as $100. So, I mean, if you have $100, you can get involved. You can start making money. You can start building good habits. Now, are you going to start with $100 and then next week be out there, shopping for your yacht or your private, Malibu mansion? Probably not. But I mean, the point is you don't need a ton of money to get started. And again, going back to that $25,000 number, that if you want to be a day trader in stocks and trade as much as you want, you need that $25,000 amount. Here, no. The futures market, specifically trading with micro futures, you can get involved with $100. But again, go back and take that course. Like I said, it's totally free, and I will walk you through everything in regard to the futures market. So there's links in the description area below. And then finally, to end things off, to help kind of maybe push you, help get you over a hurdle. So Kevin says, lastly, TradeStation is amazing for trading futures and the commission is very reasonable. So, this is just something, I'm not saying you have to use TradeStation for your futures broker. I'm not saying that is the only futures broker that's out there. So you can search around, and within the class, you'll figure out, how you should search around, what sort of brokers and such you should look for and how all the commissions and stuff like that works. But very small commissions, plenty of room to be able to make money. And that is one spot that could get you started with TradeStation. That's what Kevin's using. And as he says there, he's very happy with it. But again, it's not like they're some sort of holy grail. But, it's just kind of one of those tips where, all right, well, what's Kevin using? What would be a good place to maybe start as a futures broker? And there you go. You can look into TradeStation. So hopefully I opened your eyes. Hopefully you can see, oh, yeah, I've never heard of the futures market, or maybe you've heard of it in passing, but you never realized kind of those two core dynamics. It's open essentially around the clock, and there is no pattern day trading rule. So like I said, go to that class. Again, I'll put the link in the description box below, and start learning about the futures market. And I mean, worst case, your risk is right around 2.5 hours every time you go through the class, and maybe you're like, wow, Clay, you're a terrible teacher. I learned nothing. So that's what really the question. Is it worth taking the risk of right around 2.5 hours of my time to open up all these freedoms, to open up all these possibilities with the futures market? Me personally, I think that is worth the risk, 2.5 hours. So give it a try, go through that class and check it out. Now, if you enjoyed this video and if you would like me to keep making videos like this, then the easiest way to communicate that to me, please hit that like button. Also, check out the channel as a whole. Lots of various videos out there. And if you like what you see, then I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber on the channel. And then if you're interested in more of what I offer, I mentioned the community, what Kevin's a part of and all that, then you can go to claytrader.com/team to learn more about that. But all in all, stop limiting yourself, get out there, expand your horizons, and a great way to do that is with the futures market, which, like I said, you can learn about totally for free. All it's going to take you is about 2.5 hours every time. So check out that class and let me know if you have any questions, but thank you for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.